Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's Frank. American Eagle Rises. Money report for your Thursday, October 9th. Yep, October 9th. And as usual, we have our co-host, his name's Yoda. You guys know who he is. He's our chief financial consultant. Right, Yoda?
Yes.
He said yes. Yeah, guys. So let's get our Money Matters glasses. You know, sometimes you see really weird things in a market. And today surprised us all. Gold and silver were they were moonshotting, man. It was on like Donkey Kong. And, God damn it. The stupid Chase banks and all these paper derivatives they just so happen, to flood the market with sell orders. And it dipped the price down. Silver did end up just a little bit above, but it'd been up like $3. Ridiculous. Way up and then came back down. Gold actually was way up as well, but it ended up down almost 2%. That's crazy. And all my miners, they're all bleeding on the ground, man. I might have to consider. Hang on, let's see which one of my miners lost the most today. Oh, that's one of my best ones. Yeah, and how do you say this? Agnico? Eagle Miners, ticker AEM. I'm not an expert, right, Yoda? Do you invest in miners?
Not if anything to say about it. I have.
Yeah, take it from our chief financial consultant. He doesn't like commodity miners, but I sure do. These ones have a dividend. It went almost down 5%. So, still highs. Man, this is still pretty high. Even looking at the chart over a year ago, it's still, yeah, this is basically out of 52-week highs. Basically, all the miners are. Let's see the Newmont real quick. I like their stuff. Yeah, they're barely down. Yeah, anyway, guys. Sorry about that. Bitcoin got kind of slaughtered a little bit. It went down, and then it went up, and looks like it's basically right here saying it's unchanged. So it's at 121.5. So yeah, I said a while ago it was going to have a hard time going over 120. So it looks like finally it's over 120, and it might stay here for some local resistance, though. I don't know. I say try to find something that's going to give you some passive income, whatever the heck that's going to be. We invest for the long term, but the Treasury 10-year went up 2 basis points. And the DXY was up significantly. I don't know. It looks like they're trade. Yeah. Okay. So they must have just. Oh, the Tokyo market must be open by now. That's probably what's going on. Yeah, but the DXY looks like it almost hit 100, which is kind of significant because it's been down big time. So that was part of the market. But the biggest thing that happened out of the market was this, what's it called? This one company, and it like lost a bunch of money. It's like bankrupt or something. It was right here. I don't like it when they do that. It's like I almost got to click on this stuff, but I don't like it because it's all leftist communist stuff. First, I don't know. Yeah, we're real professional around here, guys. Whatever. Here, I think my friend Brian sent it here, so at least I need to just get the first, and I'm trying to remember what it is. I can't remember any. I'm like turning 80. What's it called again? Come on. Yeah, First Brands? Never heard of it, but yeah, yeah, we don't know if they're going to be, but that was like a big wake up to the market that these banks and some of these other things just kind of came out of nowhere and failed. Oh, shocker. It's what happens when inflation goes through the roof. No one has any jobs. They've been faking the reports for years, especially under, President Otto Pen. Jackass. Right, Yoda? How did you like Brandon?
Difficult to say. Always emotions the future.
Always emotions in the future for Brandon? I don't know. Maybe Brandon might turn to the good side. don't don't smoke your crack pipe. Yeah. Well, outside of that, I don't know. We'll see what goes on for Friday. Since gold and silver and some of the market actually got hammered a little bit, Friday might actually be a good day. Gold and silver just got hammered, so it'll probably recover a little bit tomorrow. It'll probably be kind of muted. When I've seen previous I call them Hulk smashes. Hulk smash. The Hulk smash. And the price got destroyed. But what's really going on is, even though the spot price is going down, paper derivatives, which are contracts, they're futures, right? So you buy a contract to get delivered a certain amount of ounces of silver at a certain price. The prices on those are falling faster. It's essentially a squeeze. So there's not enough physical inventory. There's too much paper. So eventually this little, what's that little game that, musical chairs. I know, I'm getting kind of old here. But there's just too many paper derivatives. Eventually, you got to pay the piper. The music stops. There's 10 people in one chair, right? So you can keep putting people in there and the music's still going on. So everything's fine. But once the music's gone. So, because if there's no physical delivery, guess what? Those contracts will go to zero. Or, right, if there's not enough to buy, then yeah, they'll be like, But I think SOV, they changed some. They can settle in cash, which is kind of. That's not why people buy these contracts. They buy them because you want to take deliverable physical silver, right? So if the custodian doesn't have the silver, they can be like, oh, we don't have the silver, but hey, silver's this price. And you're like, no. I can go sell it for more over here. And that's kind of what's going on. So, and I think a couple years back, I'm trying to remember if it was March 2022. There was like a silver squeeze. I think the Wall Street silver, whatever. And they did an admirable job, but JP Morgan Chase, they're the biggest shorter. They sell they call it naked shorts. So they're selling contracts to sell silver, but they don't even have the silver. Should be illegal. Only because most commodities that would be fine. But both gold and silver, they don't derive their price from the actual asset. It's the other way around. The paper derivative. Yeah, I know. It's so. So when you guys see what it says, like there's a physical market and then there's the futures market. And they can be significantly. And what's ironic is that you could, let's say, just say gold is $4,000, right? You could buy an ounce of gold for $4,000 on the paper market, but you can't take physical delivery. Now, if you don't care about that and you're just going to hold it for a short term and then flip it, and let's say it goes up, well, that's fine, right? Then you make your money on, they call that the spread. But if you want to take physical delivery, gold might be $8,000, right? It'd be like, oh yeah, It was only 4,000. Yeah, the spot's 4,000, and then you pay a premium, and the premiums could be just as much as the gold. So eventually, this little game, this little cat and mouse game, that not only the big banks, like the big banks are silver will destroy our debt-based society like that. Just gold, maybe not so much. There's that's part of the underlying finance, and now it won't. It'll still hurt, but because they've written so many contracts for silver, like whatever our silver production is in the world, they have written like 20 times. Like whatever we mine in a year, they sell like 20 times that amount every single year. So it's just so they could stop selling them, and it would take them hundreds of years to fill all the orders. And then there's like a shadow banking system. I'm trying to give you, right, Yoda? What do you think? I'm thinking I'm still looking for this. I'm still keeping my eye on it. They're still performing very well, but they're nowhere near their true intrinsic value. It's still some time, and it's the Wall Street, the futures market, the commodities. It's something big is coming. I don't want to be alarmist, but like October is some of the biggest like meltdowns of Wall Street. Look it up. September, October. Well, the biggest one, percentage-wise, was in October. Was that October 27? 1929? I'm trying to remember. Then there was Black Monday, Black Tuesday. I think that was in October as well. Anyway. So, Yoda, should we buy some more gold and silver?
Impossible to see. The future is.
Yeah, so that's kind of a neutral stance. So he's saying the future's kind of hard to see, which I do agree with him here. So, what do you guys have for specials? We're still doing our little, buying a little dollar here and there, Bitcoin and stuff, but it feels like it's drops in the bucket. We're really waiting for... Let me just add something here at the end, because no one else is watching, so my diehard people are probably watching. I don't want to call this advice. If you already have gold and silver, hold on to it. We may, in like a year's time frame, have a really good opportunity to sell it at some pretty high, significant values. And I hope that timing will be at the point where other assets are on sale. So what the elites and the rich do is they kind of wave in. So let's just say you have there's 4 major asset categories, right? Stocks and equities is just one, right? And then you got actual commodities, right? And you got, I think, collectibles, and I can't remember another one. Right? But you have 4 major ones, and typically when one of those is going up, one of those is going down, right? So you're trying to bleed off. So when the price is going up, and because you never can guess the bottoms and the lows. Well, bottoms and the lows. The bottoms and the tops. Yeah, man, you can take your tops off, ladies. Oh, that's right. You don't like men anymore. You guys chose the bear. I'm sorry. Yoda, they chose the bear. What the heck? Yoda's laughing about that. But anyway, so the thought is, maybe not at the trough area, but maybe, once you see a nice bull pattern, and you start getting up to like all new highs or anything like that, sometimes that's the good time to start selling. Because if you have substantial, like what the rich do, because they have substantial positions, so they take a while to bleed off their positions. Because if they sell all of a sudden, they'll move the market on the downside, right? Same thing if they're going to buy something, they take a while to buy it. So they'll sell when one asset's going up, and then when one asset's going down, they'll pick it up. Food for thought. So some of the assets that I think were going to be significantly going on sale, it's going to be the stock market, Wall Street. So the plan there is to buy all the blue chips, preferably the ones with dividends, not necessarily big dividends, because if the price goes significantly down, let's just say whatever the dividend is, right? Because you're buying them in the trough, or maybe it's still going down in the trough. You haven't really made it up and you haven't really curved back up. Because I think they call that a cup and handle formation, right? I did all this technical analysis. Now it's all garbage because the stupid computers are... You have multiple computers trading with other computers. It's freaking crazy. And half this shit ain't even real anymore. So it's just, yeah, it's we're just little fish in like this big ass ocean. And there's like just one or two whales and they just eat everybody. But anyway, but as they start recovering, right, as those stock prices go up, right, and the economy starts doing better, so then you're going to be getting both, right? You're going to be getting a capital gain, right, because the stock price is higher, and then typically they do better from a margin standpoint and profitability perspective, so then their dividends go up. Again, you want to have selected, or at least my plan is to selectively target some, right? Like, I don't know, back in the day, it used to be like McDonald's and Coke and, you know what I'm saying? Like things that just, they ain't going anywhere. But I don't know, the future's kind of crazy now. So it could get, you know. I wonder if there's a Waffle House, man. I already miss Waffle House. Shh. Darn it. Anyway, this video, how long is this video? I've been blabbing. Oh my gosh, it's 17 minutes. We got to end this one, right, Yoda? All right, so our official position, and we'll chime in with our chief financial consultant, Yoda, is to holding pattern. Don't sell. If you have gold, silver, do not sell. Not yet. I mean, if you got an emergency and you have to, that's why I'm a big believer of saving cash. Not just because you might have to use cash, right? But I don't want to part with my gold and silver. Never. You got to take it off my dead cold hands, like Clint Eastwood. Although Clint Eastwood would probably say something like that. I think that was Charleston Heston talking to the NRA or something. But yeah, don't sell any of your positions. Don't sell them. If you're a little high in the stock portfolio of your investments, I would probably consider pulling back, especially this month. Don't sell it all. Don't sell your entire position unless you're like me. I have multiple accounts. So some accounts, right, is like more my 401k. I just park it, forget it, let it do its thing. I don't care if it goes up and down and around. Then I have like a personal little, what do they call those? What do they call them, Yoda? He just says yes. That's not fun. Yoda, what the hell, buddy? But you know, he was saying yes because I was saying hold the position. So, I asked him 2 questions. So, but yeah, big believer in keeping that cash position only because you don't want to sell your. Because typically every time you sell these assets, they're going down, right? So it's almost like a race to the bottom because you're trying to unload because the prices just keep falling, right? So that's the rich wait. The rich are like, oh, okay, you're selling? Oh, okay, I'll buy some more. All right, because they're the only buyer there, and that's why they only buy a little bit at a time. They don't care, right? So you got to build your arc in a way, right? You got to build your buffer. You got to... Shit ain't easy, man. So, winding down, super long financial report, because we kind of gave you some history. Trump's doing really well. He is... Yeah, we're at the end here, so no one's even listening at this point, even when it comes to money. But it looks like we're really close to an Israel-Hamas deal, which probably also reinforced the selling off of the gold, well, at least from the gold and silver perspective. So when geopolitical tensions look like they're about to come down, yeah, gold and silver kind of take a hit. But if you ask me, this is going to be very temporary. It will go down and then just tower sideways and slowly tick back up. Because guess what? The government ain't spending any less money. Shit, and well, maybe in some respects. But it spends more than it makes. Number go up. Although every asset's probably going to do that. All right, Yoda, what do you got for us? Right? It's in a holding pattern for tomorrow, right? Maybe just pick up a little onesie, twosie, maybe get a, maybe get a couple of, get a 6-pack of beer, right?
The dark side clouds everything.
Whoa! The dark side clouds everything. That is like a big confirmation. Don't do anything tomorrow. Don't do anything big monetarily. No. Don't buy any big ticket items. Don't sell any big ticket items. Unless you're getting like 10 extra money or some. All right. Well, we're so glad to have Chief Financial Consultant Yoda here. Because, I'm just a stupid YouTube guy. And, we get like 10 views a video here. Yeah. We're going to keep trying to do the money thing. And then, I don't know. We might have a second video like every other day or something. Nobody's watching, guys. So if you're watching, holy moly, thank you so much for watching all the way through. I just feel like I'm wasting my time. I'm not getting any comments either, so I'm not sure you guys like this, you hate it. If it's helpful, trying to help you guys out. I want to help you guys out. I'm not being, what's that word? Profficious? I don't know. I got to get off this thing. All right, guys. We found the stop button like 5 times already, so hope to see you tomorrow. We had the day off, so we're going to have another beer. Yay! All right, see ya. Bye.